Justin Roiland. Created a game studio back in 2016 called Squanch Nintendo, later to be changed to Squanch Games, as they began developing games such as Accounting, which I just found is a real game right now, and Trover Saves the Universe, probably the real game that you thought of that isn't the game that I'm about to talk. Anyway, well, a game like Trover Saves the Universe got attention from the fandom Roiland made with his work on Rick and Morty and, I don't know, House of Cosby's?
It's a House of Cosby's. I'm Dancing Cosby. I'm Curiosity Cosby, you see.
I'm Cosby number 6. Bathtub Cosby.
None of them got the same attention as when this was revealed at the Xbox showcase. I was hyped. It helped that I was on a real Rick and Morty high at the time, and this wasn't just your average, small VR game like Trover. No. This was a giant first-person shooter where your guns are your companions, and they comment on the situations you're in, and most people didn't like that. Yeah, if you didn't like Roiland's sense of humor, you probably thought these were the most insufferable things ever made. However, I thought they were about as funny as like a normal Rick and Morty episode. Not to say all the jokes are amazing, but there's some pretty good ones that made me laugh. All right, let's just get to the story. All right, you already know. You already know he got removed from the studio. You already know what happens. The game follows you, a bum who does nothing but stay in the room all day and play video games.
Wait, is this a fucking play about us?
When your sister walks in informing you that your parents left for vacation or something, I forgot, and they offer you some booger sugar, and this is when you have to pick what your character looks like, but this never gets brought up like at all, and no one ever talks about your appearance, okay? Like, I don't know what this is for. This is just for one scene. Anyway, no time to dwell on that. Aliens. You start stealing a gun off of a corpse, and only to find out it's not an ordinary gun, and that thing starts talking to you. Man, you should put that thing down, especially when you hear what it sounds like. After fighting some aliens, you teleport your sister away to Blim City. This is where the gun, his name is Kenny by the way, a Gatlian, whose people has been enslaved by the G3 cartel, the main bad guys of the game, who are now kidnapping humans to use them as drugs in these human-sized bongs. After leaving your house, you run into Gene Ceruthian, a washed-up bounty hunter who hooks up with you. What? That would have been a different game. After leaving your house, you run into Gene Ceruthian, a washed-up bounty hunter who hooks you up with everything you need to take down the cartel. In exchange, he lives in your house and watches TV for free. The game is pretty simple. You pick a boss Mega Man style, you go to their base, kill a bunch of grunts, and then kill the boss, repeat that like 6 times, and that's the game. The levels aren't super interesting, and the bosses aren't too crazy either. The only memorable one I can think of is Douglas, because he's voiced by Thomas Kenny, and it's funny to hear SpongeBob curse, and Nipulon, because he has this cool trippy level that is for some reason more interesting than the final boss. Yes, the final boss, Garmantuous, goes down no problem. Oh, I forgot the big bad is Garmantuous. Alright, there, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he goes down no problem because of Let's Do It, a Galleon who was experimented on and is a close friend to Kenny. And the game's only serious moment that takes place in a goddamn Applebee's.
When you're here, your family.
Kenny explains that he was the reason the G3 found his home planet in the first place, causing the other guns in your arsenal to start hating on Kenny. I wish this had any weight to it though, because at the end of the game, when you defeat Garmantuous, you have to sacrifice a gun to blow him up. While you can pick any gun, you're supposed to pick Kenny, as it'll be a noble sacrifice. But then he just is alive again, and Kenny lives to see another day, but they regret that decision.
When you're here, your family.
The story isn't anything to write home about. It's not even anything to write, your brother who lives next door to you. This is a very simple story, just so the developers can cram in as many jokes as possible. This part is purely subjective, but I do think the game is funny. Not every joke lands, but some of them are bound to make you laugh. There's that many of them, unless, I don't know, you're moist critical or something.
What the fuck? You just paused the game. This doesn't help at all. Are you an idiot? Everyone knows pause button. And what fuck yeah, there we go.
The dying Care Bear alien scene always gets me. He wants you to stay with him till he's gone, and once you think he's dead, you walk away. He gets mad at you for leaving him. I thought the thing was hilarious.
Hey, where are you guys going? You promised me to stay with me until I die. Oh, I feel it. Oh,
he's still alive?
I also like the commercials that play when you walk around the city in your house. These definitely are a carryover from Rick and Morty, co-created by who again? Oh, god dang it. The guns are pretty funny. My favorite was Kenny. Who is he voiced? Oh my god! All the guns serve their purpose and are archetypes of guns from other games. You got your standard pistol, shotgun, the ultra powerful weapon that needs to recharge after a cooldown, Needler, and Tim Robinson. The open world is fine. There's some stuff for you to do, like fighting these crates called lug boxes filled with upgrades for your guns, trading cards that don't do anything but they have some funny descriptions, and these bounty forms that are full of challenges for you to do. Doing these gives you more money, but the game gives you enough cash you won't really need to worry about it, and the game is only a few hours long. It's not going to take you long at all unless you want to hear everything that everyone has to say, or if you're going for the platinum. And can I rant for a sec? I went for the platinum for this game, and when going for a platinum with games, I wait till I'm done with it before going for every trophy. But with most of these trophies, they're soft locked after being the final boss, like the Gordo trophy, where you have to watch this kid perform on TV. And when this game first came out, this was bugged out the wazoo. Nobody knew how to do it. It was just out of order, and it would just it would just not work sometimes. Or I heard that you could start a new save file and it just wouldn't work because it already registered the first saved, and then why'd you do this, Justin? Oh yeah, that's right. Thankfully it's not as broken now, but it's still annoying, and there's still a lot of trophies that you have to play again, and you can't skip cutscenes or dialogue in this game, which would be very helpful if you're trying to speedrun. Besides getting all the collectibles, there isn't much for post game except for a secret ending. Throughout the game you find these messages that tease a big bad and it's this guy, and it isn't really followed up on in the second one, so what was the point of this? I think it was supposed to be a joke, but I don't think it was that funny. Other than that, that's about it. You shoot some grunts, walk somewhere, shoot, kill the boss, repeat, with some jokes to keep the game fresh. Yeah, that's about it. Until October of next year when we got a paid DLC called High on Knife, where Kenny was nowhere to be found. I wonder why. Alright, let's get this over with. The January after the game release, Royland was let go from every studio he worked with, like Adult Swim, Hulu, and he resigned from Squash Games. What did he do? Well, he said, and I quote, "The Smile Friends show is poopy ooey." See, you can tell it's real because I put quotations. So Kenny isn't here, and he isn't in the sequel, spoiler alert, but that's a video for another time. Instead we have Harper, who is an ex-military galleon, and she's fine, but I think it would have been better just to recast Royland like they did with Rick and Morty. I do think the team regrets casting Royland because apparently he didn't even want to do this thing.
I didn't even want to do Kenny. I was like, the whole team, remember, I was like, please. I really tried my hardest to convince everybody to let me cast somebody else to be Kenny.
But also that's probably because he got incredibly lazy around this time. Well, anyway, this DLC is about Knifey. Oh yeah, Knifey. So in the base game, you get this knife called Knifey, and he does what you think he does. But since you can't have him out all the time, I kind of forget he's there. Well, he definitely has more to do and say here, as Knifey receives a notice that he has a package from his home planet, which he hasn't been to in a long time, and he's lost the coordinates to it too. So you and your violent companions go to Paroxys, which is this planet inhabited by salt and these snails that like to cough on you, and these ugly looking things called Duffalo. And while interacting with the locals, like this guy who really does not want you to look at his ass, who is connected to this recreation of the bar from Cheers, which is a running joke in this franchise, I guess. In the base game, they mentioned Cheers a lot, and Frasier. In the DLC, they have this been. The second game also has a bunch of They love mentioning Frasier. I don't know what their obsession is with Frasier Crane.
Sorry that last part didn't rhyme. Just wanted to mention Cheers. Just making sure you know this is a Cheers parody. Also, Frasier's in this one too. We didn't even ask. We're just using Frasier illegally.
Anyway, you invade Muxalon HQ to get your package, only to be thwarted by the CEO Mux. You kill her. And then you go to Knifey's home planet, Australia 2. They did not try with this DLC. And you kill your brother-in, I guess. Then it's over. Yeah, this DLC is not long. It was really like a demo for High on Life 2. Like, the speed boost you get is like a prototype skateboard, especially with the racing side quest. You do get a new gun in the form of Ball. A gun for this pinball minigame operated by these three little dudes that speak in only gibberish. What does Ball stand for, you may ask? Well, no one knows because no one speaks their language. I like Ball, and the DLC treats them like they're the main gimmick, as the pinball can block off certain obstacles to progress the plot. But again, you can't understand them in a game where you're supposed to have the gun talk to you and speak for you. Other than that, Knifey does get a chainsaw upgrade, which lets you scale up a wall, and that's neat. There is a mention of another DLC, a New Orleans DLC. I'm not too sure if that was a canceled DLC or maybe just a joke, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's there though. Other than that, this DLC is a whole lot of nothing, and it was being sold. Well, it is being sold $15. It's not worth $15, but it's usually on sale. So if you're curious, get it then. There are some good bits, but not $15 good. So overall, I'm gonna give High on Life a score of 7 out of 10 with a big ol' asterisk. This is the biggest of guilty as pleasures of mine. And I don't know if I did a great job explaining why, but hopefully you enjoyed watching this. So again, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. What is that, like 3.5 Care Bears out of 5? Yeah, that sounds about right.